الصمت هو سيد الموقف، لكن لغة الإشارة أبلغ من الكلام أحيانا. حرمهم الله لحكمة يعلمها من حستي السمع والنطق، وعوضهم عن ذلك بأحاسيس نابضة يستمعون بها إلى صوت الكون، كما أنهم ذوي إرادة وعزيمة قوية تعينهم على تحمل آلام الحياة، وبآمالهم العريضة ينجحون في قهر المستحيل وتحقيق إنجازات يعجز بعض الأصحاء عن تحقيقها. عبد الله المطيري طالب مبتعث أصم، وخير مثال لرجل قهر كل التحديات والصعوبات التي واجهها في حياته.
It's been wonderful. I feel great. A lot of challenge, and when I came for the first time 4 years ago here to the U.S., I started in the English Language Institute program here, and there were several barriers. I had to learn 2 new languages at the same time, both American Sign Language and English, written English. The American Sign Language is the language of instruction in the classroom here, plus we use written English. And so there was a lot of challenge, but I stuck with it, pursued my passion, and have acquired the languages. Now I'm in my last year of study here, and I expect to graduate next semester in May.
جامعة جالوديت هي الجامعة الأولى والوحيدة في العالم المتخصصة للطلبة الصم، لذلك يقصدها العديد من الطلبة الدوليين حول العالم. كما توفر الجامعة جميع التخصصات وكافة تكنولوجيا التعليم والتقنية الحديثة التي تساعد هذه الفئة على التعلم، بمساعدة طاقم تعليمي يشكله 98% من الصم.
Well, it's not as easy as it is here. As I just mentioned here at Gallaudet, from the person in the highest position to the lowest position, everybody knows sign language. And so here on campus, it's much easier. Outside in the larger community, I'm sometimes surprised on the metro, for example. I'll be seated on the metro talking with a friend, and some other stranger will introduce themselves in some sign language. I think that's kind of neat that a lot of people know a little bit of sign language at least. That shows how the community around Gallaudet has been affected by Gallaudet.
لم يكتفي الطالب عبد الله على التعليم فقط، فمنذ قدومه للولايات المتحدة الأمريكية كان يحمل هموم ومعاناة العديد من الطلبة الصم الآخرين، ودفعه هذا الاهتمام إلى فكرة تأسيس نادي سعودي للطلبة الصم بجامعة جالوديت.
Well, the whole point of the club was to be able to expose the Gallaudet community here to more of our culture. And it's a very diverse school with lots of international student groups. And so with the number of Saudi students, it seemed like the time was ripe to create the club and show the community here who we are, where we come from, what our celebrations are, things about our culture. And so the exposure to the larger community about us, our group, our religion, and our culture, our practices has been good. And it also helps because when I first came here, I benefited from having the support of other Saudi students and guiding me through adjusting to being here, to the larger community in DC, how to improve my education. The student groups are very important in supporting each other in achieving our goals.
حصل الطالب عبد الله المطيري على إعجاب أساتذته في الجامعة، وذلك من خلال تفوقه العلمي ومساعدته لإخوانه الطلبة في التعليم، إضافة إلى حبه وانتمائه لوطنه الذي بات هاجسه الدائم، والذي يدفعه بأن يقدم كل ما تعلمه في مجال دراسته وخبرته العملية لخدمة وطنه وتمثيله خير تمثيله.
And Gallaudet University has had a profound impact on many of their lives. Before coming here, many of them didn't have a sense of identity as a deaf person, and they learned that here among other deaf people, so that when they return home to their country, they could do more to foster and develop their deaf communities, working with hearing people, agencies, and organizations. Abdullah, for example, faces an interesting challenge in my class because he has to think outside of his comfort zone very often. His comfort zone is Islam and the lens of Islam. So in my class, we have people that come from many different backgrounds. with very different perspectives. So imagine students who come from a culture that's very different coming here.
صمت ناطق بالنجاح والتفوق العلمي استطاع الطالب عبدالله المطيري أن ينتزع به النجاح ويلفت أنظار كافة الطلبة لتجربة الصم في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية لبرنامج أبناؤنا في الخارج. إبراهيم سليمان، واشنطن.